Everybody out there, I'm Dan Cronin from RageNetRadio.com. I just did a whole segment about Survivor Series and what I think is going to happen, and of course my computer crashed, so now we'll just do it via my Galaxy S phone. What the hell's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. So real quickly, Survivor Series, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen at Survivor Series? Do you think it's going to be worth it to buy the pay-per-view? Are you buying the pay-per-view? That's my biggest question to you guys. Leave them in the comments below and let me know if you think this pay-per-view is worth buying. So let's get right into it right away. My predictions for Survivor Series. Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres in a Lumberjill match. I'm going to go ahead and say at this point that this match is probably going to be a no DQ, or rather a DQ. It is going to be a disqualification. I'm going to say that either all the girls jump in the ring and get into some gigantic Royal Rumble girl cat fight thing that makes the match last about 2 minutes, probably something like that, because they kind of just like to make a joke out of the Divas, especially when the spotlight's on them. On Raw sometimes they'll have a long match but on a pay-per-view or something, whatever. You understand what I'm saying. Already we've spent too much time talking about the Divas. Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison. Now this is an interesting one because if you ask me now, I have no idea why Zack Ryder isn't in this match against Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship, and why John Morrison isn't going for the IC belt against Cody Rhodes. I want to see John Morrison against Cody Rhodes so John Morrison can become the Intercontinental Champion and start to get pushed a little bit more and maybe move his way up a little bit higher. I think that's what we all like to see. But they've been pushing John Morrison way back, and now all of a sudden he's got a title match for the United States Championship, and Zack Ryder is nowhere to be found. I'm very confused, Vince McMahon, WWE, what? WTF? Unless they're saving Zack Ryder for some kind of WrestleMania match and trying to build him up or feel him out more, I don't know what else they need to do. I was just in Boston for Raw, and the whole crowd chanted for Zack Ryder over and over again until CM Punk went in the back and brought him out during the dark match after Raw went off the air. For those of you who didn't know that or didn't see it, I was there. The crowd chanted for Zack Ryder. Loudly, and CM Punk went and got him, and he came out, wrestled the majority of the dark match after Raw went off the air. Crowd loved it. Zack Ryder got the pin on Miz, I believe, or R-Truth. I can't remember which one now, but it was awesome. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Survivor Series traditional match now. Team Orton, Sheamus, Mason Ryan, Kofi Kingston, Sin Cara, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, all those guys against them. Who cares? I don't know. Who cares? What? What? But anyway, Randy Orton's team's going to win. Survivor Series, 8-man tag match. I think Randy Orton's team's going to win. I think that's a no-brainer, but there's nothing really on the line, so it doesn't matter either. But I'm going with Randy Orton's team. Make the crowd happy. Get them all in the ring and pumping up the crowd and everything like they did on Raw last week. Moving on, Mark Henry versus The Big Show. I could be wrong in this, as Mark Henry is the champion, but I have a strange feeling that the Big Show is going to defeat Mark Henry to be the world champion. And get this, you're hearing this from me, folks. All right, I have a feeling that at this year's WrestleMania, it's going to be the Big Show versus The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Belt. That's my prediction. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's everybody's favorite choice, but I can't say if it's not The Undertaker. I do think they're going to make the Big Show champion, and he's going to have a WrestleMania match as a champion. That's what I think. As for the Undertaker thing, it might be a stretch, but I'm just throwing it out there. WWE Championship match. Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk. Alberto Del Rio is the champion. I think Alberto Del Rio is going to remain the champion. I don't know if somebody's going to have something to do with this match. Kevin Nash. I think it would be smart for the WWE to have Kevin Nash interfere in this match to set up a CM Punk Kevin Nash rivalry leading up to WrestleMania, where CM Punk gets a shot at whoever the champion is. because I don't think they want to make CM Punk champion right now, but I think making him champion at WrestleMania and setting that whole thing up would be really cool. So I think CM Punk is going to lose to Alberto Del Rio in this case. In fact, Alberto Del Rio may be that champion still by WrestleMania. And I'm not sure about the Kevin Nash thing because he was injured. He was set to really get into action, and they've been just kind of putting Kevin Nash in spots recently because of the injury and whatever else. Alright, I had a little trouble there. I took my damn headphones off because the computer crashed. What's the point in having headphones? I don't even need this damn mic. Doesn't even work. Yeah, The Rock and John Cena versus The Miz and R-Truth. I've had a lot of people say that this is stupid because basically the Rock and Cena have just been bitch slapping Miz and R-Truth around like crazy, and that it's just going to be a joke match because they basically beat these two other guys up, and everybody knows that The Rock and Cena are going to win. So this is stupid. Well, not necessarily. I don't necessarily believe that The Rock and Cena are going to win. And honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens in this match. All it is a reason to get Cena and The Rock, in the ring together before WrestleMania. I mean, there's no reason why The Miz and R-Truth couldn't beat The Rock and Cena because The Rock and Cena at some point at the end of the match are unable to work together. And something goes wrong, and The Miz and R-Truth win, and they go crazy because they beat The Rock and Cena, and we'll hear about that for months. But that gives The Rock and Cena a chance to kind of have a confrontation at the end of the match, or whatever. The Rock to leave Cena by himself, or something like that. You never know with this stuff. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. In fact, one of the least interesting. It's almost not even interesting, the match. I'm not buying this pay-per-view. And I love to buy. I used to buy every WWE pay-per-view there was. But I'm very picky and choosy now. $50 for a pay-per-view? Are you kidding me? If this thing bombs, you got to do something better than this to get me to drop $50 every month for a pay-per-view. And I understand that was some of the point in bringing The Rock back. But honestly, I think we've seen too much of The Rock. There's just been too much of all the build-up. I thought maybe they thought The Rock could save us from the staleness of the WWE. At least that's what I thought. The PG rating, the very cartoony, kid-friendly stuff that's going on in the WWE right now. I thought maybe The Rock bringing it back would kind of kickstart a little bit. And it did. It has a little bit. The being at Raw the other night with the boots to asses thing that The Rock did, that was fun. That was hilarious. The Fruity Pebbles, that Yabba Dabba Bitch, that was hilarious. So, he has kickstarted a little bit for me, but at the same time, I don't care about Cena and The Rock tagging up. I want to see them at WrestleMania wrestle. I'm going to buy that, but I don't care about them tagging up. I just don't care. Mark Henry and the Big Slow, that's going to be a slow match, so that's going to be a snoozer probably. I know the last time they did the ring thing to get the big pop, but what are they going to do this time? The Survivor Series thing, again, meaningless, don't care. So, Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison, that's a little bit interesting, sort of. But still makes me think of where's Zack Ryder. Beth Phoenix, Eva Torres, don't really care. A little, maybe if it was they actually had a real good match, that match could be good. Put it this way, the match of the night is going to be probably between Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison. One of those two matches, I would think, is going to be the best match of the night. But that's it, folks. It's RageInternetRadio.com. I'm Dan Cronin for Rage Wrestling Talk this week. It's Survivor Series. It's tomorrow. It's tonight, rather. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm having some Miller Lights. And we're going to get all to your questions on the next video, questions about various things, and we will get into Matt Hardy being arrested again as he tries to play catch-up with his brother Jeff as far as getting in trouble with the law. So we'll see you next time on our Rage Internet Radio.